Okay, this is Unit 1, Lesson 6, Describing Transformations. And our focus question, how do you describe and apply a sequence of transformations on a grid? So our warm-up says, Andre performs a 90-degree counterclockwise rotation of polygon P and gets polygon P prime. So here's polygon P, rotates at 90 degrees counterclockwise and gets polygon P prime. But he does not say where the center of rotation is. Can you find the center of rotation? So let's open up our GeoGebra applet and see if we can find the center of rotation. Okay, so this is our image. Here's our original shape. So I'm going to rotate. Okay, so when I do my rotations, I know that corresponding lines are going to be right on top of each other. So this side right here corresponds with this side right here. So when I rotate it 90 degrees, this should be right on here. So I'm going to select my rotate tool. I'm going to rotate around a point, and let's say I'm going to rotate this side, and I'm not sure where that point. I'm just going to guess. We'll put right here, and we're going to say 90 degrees counterclockwise. Okay, so it's a little high, so I need to bring this down a little bit. No, I need to bring it over a little, right? Maybe down too, we'll see. Okay, so I'm going to undo that. So I'm going to rotate this now. Let's try right here. 90 degrees. Counterclockwise. Okay, now it landed right there on that shape. So here is my center of rotation. So now the question is, how can we find that center of rotation without the GeoGebra tools? So let's take a look at that now. Okay, so to find the center of rotation between any two figures, it doesn't matter if the center of rotation is on the point, or in this case, if the center of rotation is, if the center of rotation is on the image, or if the center of rotation is somewhere in the coordinate plane, we can use this method. So the first thing we're going to want to do is draw some lines to corresponding points. So I'm just going to pick two, and I can pick any 2 points. So I'm going to pick this point here and this point here. So those are 2 corresponding points. And then I'm going to pick another pair of corresponding points. I'll pick right here and right there. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this line and find its bisector. I'm going to find right in the middle of that line. So this line, and if you did this on paper you could measure it, or if you had some tools you could measure, but looks like the center point is about right here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a line that's perpendicular to this line. So I'm going to draw a line right here. Okay, I'm just just going to extend that. Okay. And then I'm going to do the same thing with this line here. I'm going to find right in the middle. It looks like it is somewhere around right here. I'm not sure exactly. I'm going to guess it's about right there. Close enough. And then I'm going to do the same thing, and I'm going to draw a line perpendicular through that line right right in the middle. Right about there. Maybe it's a little off. A little bit. There we go. Close enough. So I have my perpendicular line here, perpendicular line here, and when these two lines intersect, that will be my center of rotation. So I can see that right here is where those two lines intersect, and that is the center of rotation. Okay. So let's talk about transforming shapes on the coordinate plane and sequence of transformations. So on the bottom here it says polygon ABC A prime B prime C prime D prime is the image of ABCD after some transformations. Find A prime, B prime, C prime, and D prime. So we have to ask some questions, right? Because we have no idea where this is going to end up. So let's ask, so we need to ask which transformations are taking place. And the transformations we know of so far are a translation, a rotation, and reflection. So we need to ask, does this shape translate? All right, so they might answer, yes, it does translate. And okay, so we have a translation. And we might say, does the shape rotate? Does it rotate at all? No, it does not rotate. Okay, so it doesn't rotate, it translates, does not rotate. Does it reflect? Does it reflect? Yes, there is a reflection. Okay, so it translates and reflects. Which comes first? Does it translate first or reflect first? Or does that even matter? Maybe it doesn't matter. Maybe it does. We'll see. But they might say, okay, it translates first. Okay, so we have first a translation and then a reflection. So what else do we need to know? So we might need to know, okay, so if we're going to talk about the translation, how far up or down does it translate? Well, it translates 2 units up. Okay, how far left or right does it translate? It translates 3 units to the right. Okay, so let's talk about the reflection. I guess the only thing we need to know on the reflection is where is the line of reflection. And they might say the line of reflection is the y-axis, or the x-axis, reflects over the x-axis. Okay, so now we have some specific instructions on how to transform this shape. First we do a translation, then a reflection, and we'll see if that makes a difference, the order. Okay, so first we translate. So I'm going to use a different color. We translate 2 up and 3 to the right. So I'm going to take each of these points and translate 2 up and 3 right. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. So there is A prime. 2 up, 3 to the right. There's B prime. So I'm going to do this for all the points. Okay. So now that's going to be my new shape. And it's just like my original, only translated 2 up, 3 to the right. Now it reflects over the x-axis. So I'm going to do that in a different color. Do that in blue. So it's going to reflect over the x-axis. So this point now is going to be right here. So we could call that, I guess, D prime prime. A going to be right here. B right here. And C right here. So now my new shape ends up right there. So let's see if I did this correctly. We're just going to bring out the answer. I'm going to move these over just so they're out of the way. And there is where the shape ended up. And it looks like what I drew. Okay, so let's do the reflection first and then the translation and see if that makes a difference on where we end up. So we're going to reflect over the x-axis first. So D is going to stay in the same spot. So that's now going to be D prime prime. B is going to stay in the same spot. A is going to be here. And C is going to be right here. Actually, just be single prime at this point. All right. So let's draw that shape. Okay, now I'm going to translate that shape. I'm just going to select it and translate it all up. Okay, I'm going to translate this up 2 and 3 to the right. 1, 2, and then 1, 2, 3. Okay, so that now is a different shape than our original. This That's not even our original shape. I did not do this right. That should be there. That should be there. There we go. Now, translate. Oops. What did I select? I selected that. Okay, translate up. Translate up 2, over 3, and we end up in a completely different position. So yes, it is important the order that you describe your transformations, or that you perform your transformations. All right, let's take some notes. Does the center of rotation have to be a point on the figure? Well, no, it doesn't. We found that out, right? Just from the first one, our center of rotation was down here. So, no, it does not. It can be a point anywhere on the coordinate plane. In fact, I'm going to take that little picture, take that picture here, and put it in our notes. That is a little big. So right here is the center of rotation. Okay, does the order of transformations matter when describing a sequence of rotations? Yes, it does. The order determines where the shape is going to end up, where the image will be located. So a reflection and then a rotation may be different than a rotation than a reflection. So that's it.